Hello, this is RICKY, the Android Guy. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Android Weekly / Android Q&A, where we go over all the latest news that happened during the week in mobile and answer all of your questions live. Now, how do you get your question asked and answered? Just ask it at asktheandroidguy@gmail.com and make sure the subject is question, and hopefully I'll get to answer it next week. Now, as always, at the top of the show, we'd like to remind you guys we do have a giveaway going on our Patreon page. In the description below is the link, and we are giving away a Gear S2 this month. So just enter, and February 1st, we will announce the winner of the Gear S2. All it takes is $1 donation, and it helps us buy new products in order to give them away to you guys. So go ahead and enter. We gave 4 products for free last month, and this month we're doing 1, but it's a big one. Alright guys, now let's move on to the mobile news. We have a lot this week, so let's check out and see what happened during this week. Now the first one is, we're always starting off with the Galaxy S8 because every week there seems to be a new rumor. And we did do a breaking news one, so if you didn't check it out already, go ahead and check out our last video, and that showed new images of the Galaxy S8, which we hope are not real. There's a lot of evidence to support that it's not real. However, it's from Evan Blass, so that's typically real. So we'll have to wait and see, but I am very curious to see how it works out. But make sure to check out that video if you haven't already. All right. Now, the first topic is going against what we've seen over the past couple weeks. Now, the big question right now is, will Google's AI work on other smartphones? As it hasn't worked really outside of Nexus and possibly Moto in beta right now, but there is no exact phone, especially a big flagship phone outside of the Pixel, that has it. So far Google's AI is locked into this phone and nothing else on the Pixel X, on the Pixel and the Pixel XL. But apparently this might change with the Galaxy S8 and the LG G6. Both phones might have the artificial intelligence. If this happens, then it's interesting because Samsung will have 2 artificial intelligence on board. This isn't too much of a departure because S Voice has always been on the Galaxy phones, even if not many people ever use it. My favorite feature actually from S Voice is in the camera, because you can actually say cheese, smile, capture, or shoot to take a photo, and I've always used that on every single smartphone since the S3. So I've really enjoyed that part of S Voice, but nothing else besides that really. So for that reason, I don't need necessarily Samsung to have their own AI, but I'm more curious to see how that AI develops on things like smart TVs and other things, but they're going to test it out here, so we'll see how that goes. All right, now let's also check in with the Pixel 2. So the biggest thing about the Pixel 2 is, one, is it does look like we might get waterproofing on this one. That was the big miss with the Pixel 1, is the fact that it didn't have waterproofing would be really bad. Now, however, I will say this, it's going to even have a better camera, which is good. I know a lot of people like the Pixel's camera. Unfortunately, maybe it's just a version that I got, but the version that I have has a horrible lens flare that's never been corrected, and it really is poor in quality, in my opinion. And again, some people swear by the Pixel XL, and I've seen them post amazing photos online. Unfortunately, mine is not a good one, to say the least. And the biggest thing is that not only will it have, of course, a new processor, we know that, but it'll have a budget model, possibly. So maybe we'll have 3 Pixels, a Pixel XL2, a Pixel, and a Pixel Mini or something along those lines, where you'll have a better quality mid-range device to replace the missing link that Google used to have with their Nexus devices. So hopefully that's one thing we'll get. Now on to the LG G6. So there's a lot of new reports on it, and quite frankly, I don't find them as new, really. in my opinion, just because of the fact that really with this, I have already kind of known some of these, and I said it a long time ago. So there is saying now that there is a non-removable battery on the LG G6. I've been saying that for weeks that there will not be a removable battery on the LG G6. Just LG is not going to do that anymore. And now more sources are confirming that. So new reports say that yes, it is taken out due to the waterproofing, which again, I knew that that was going to happen. And I've been saying it for a couple of weeks now. So this comes from our friends at Phone Arena, and again, just confirming it. Not only that, but we've seen some pictures of the LG G6. And, you know, it's funny because some people were saying, like, man, this looks like an iPhone in terms of its look. I see a Galaxy. I mean, I just see a Galaxy. Maybe because Apple doesn't do these different kind of tones and that different kind of colors. And so it just doesn't make me think of Apple. It makes me think of Galaxy. Like, this reminds me of a phone called the Galaxy Alpha, to be specific in terms of its design and layout, or not even, I mean, or even like the Note 5. It's just really, like, I mean, those buttons are almost like par for par with the Galaxy, and the ways the antennas are, and just, you know, it's something that we've seen before, I feel like, and I think LG is not going to have the most excitement when it comes to the look of the new phone. Let me know what you guys think. Are you excited about this new look on the LG G6, or do you feel like it's a little bit of a rehash to what's already out? That's my biggest concern with this device. In terms of the other big thing that will hurt LG, if this is true, no Snapdragon 835. Now, the Snapdragon 835 is going to be the newest processor on the block, and it looks like LG might not get it. Now, this is pretty shocking to see if that's true. You know, if they get last year's model, the Snapdragon 821, which, you know, is on the HTC Ultra, is on the Pixel XL, is on every flagship at the end of the year, including like the OnePlus 3T. So all of these phones got that processor, but overall, I mean, I just think it's a really interesting thing, and I think this will be really, really big hit for LG. Let me know what you guys think. Obviously, processors aren't everything, right? They aren't everything. But for LG to get last year's top of the line processor instead of this year's top of the line processor, I think it's going to hurt them overall, just because it won't get people excited. You know, you're literally going to have the same processor on the LG G6 that you did on the V20, and although it's good for V20, it's not as good. You know, it's just, there's something missing there. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. I think for marketing purposes alone, it will hurt LG. And speaking of LG, them and Google are going to have some new LG Android Wear 2.0 watches. Supposedly, this is going to be called the Watch Style and the Watch Sport. So the Style is the smaller one, and the Sport is the bigger one. Now, this comes from Tech Buffalo, and they have gotten their source from, again, Evan Blass. So really, it's a really interesting concept for the new Android Wear 2.0, and they are doing something very smart, as in making a more compact size. But honestly, I do feel like it's a little bit of a ripoff on the design. I feel like the style is a mixture of Huawei and Asus's watch from last year, and this one, besides the buttons, which are classic LG watch, really looks like the one I'm wearing, the Gear S2. It just looks like that same kind of style overall. So yeah, I think the design's been done, but more so, I'm more curious to finally see what Android Wear 2.0 can do. I've not been liking Android Wear 1 at all. I mean, I had the first LG the first LG watch, and then the LG Urbane, which was the second watch, and I just haven't been as much of a fan on Android Wear since then. Now, Android Wear 2.0 is apparently coming with these devices February 9th. So we have about 2 weeks to see how this comes to fruition, but definitely can't wait for that. Also, another image here of a possible design for the style on this one from our friends at Phone Arena, also pegging it at $250. So the style might be $250, and then the sport either will go up or down, right? Either $199 or $299. But yeah, I'm really curious to see how it turns out. And again, we'll find out February 9th. Speaking of dates to circle on your calendar, the last big one is the Google I/O. Now, Google I/O is typically the announcement for new Android OSs. Now, keep in mind when I say Android OS, this would be the beta version of it. So, you know how before we had Android Nougat, we had Android N. Well, that is what they will be announced. This will be Android O. So they will announce Android O on May 17th, 18th, or 19th. Most likely the 17th. It's usually the first day. And that's when they'll announce the new one. Now, here's the thing about that is once that's announced, you're not going to get it on a phone until October, which will be the first Pixel XL or Pixel 2, and those will get the newest version of Android, and so on and so forth. So yeah. All right, guys, those were all the articles during this week. Now let's get to your questions that you emailed us this week. Again, if you have a question you would like to ask, just email me at asktheandroidguy@gmail.com and make sure the subject is question, and hopefully I'll answer it next week. All right, now the first question comes from Ray, and he asks, where can I locate the tip calculator on the Gear S3 watch that you've shown on? So I did get it from the Play Store, and when I searched tip on the App Store with the Galaxy apps, it did come up. So I'm not sure why you haven't been able to find it, but it is right there. So hopefully that helps. Just search tip and it should come up. Make sure you're under the gear section and not the regular phone section. Maybe that's why, but it was right there when I searched tip. All right. Gamer Truth asks, can HEC get sued by copying S7 or S6 design of their HECU? No, and I quite frankly don't think it looks too much like it. I don't think there's too much of a copy in design between those two. Let me know what you guys think. Do you really think that the HECU looks that much like the S7 or S6 design? I don't think it looks too much like it, to be honest. I think it looks more like what we've seen from Honor. The Honor 8, I think it looks a lot more like it. The Honor 8 and the HECU, I think, look a lot more alike than the S7 looks like either of them. But that's my opinion. Dennard asks, do you think you could do a new video on Nova Launcher on your and your phone setup? It has been a long time since you've done a video like that, and I know Nova Launcher has added new features since then. Love your channel, keep up the good work. Yeah, I think we could do a new video on this. We might do it next week, actually. We've had a lot of different content and products to review. As you saw this week, we had a lot of unboxings. Well, now we need to review all those products. So a lot of products coming for review in these weeks. And yeah, just waiting to see how that's going to go now. So overall, I think it's a really good idea for it. It will probably be within 2 weeks, just because as of right now, there's so much happening that we have products to review. All right, and the last one is from Chris. Chris asks, I looked for everywhere for an answer. I called AT&T and they said it's the manufacturer what's holding up 7.0. I called Samsung and they say it's Google. Is there any way to find out what's going on with the 7.0 update? I appreciate it if you can find out. Yeah, sure, no problem. You'll be getting Android 7.0 in February. I I guess that's not too much of a surprise, seeing as it's the 29th already. But yeah, they're looking at mid-February for most of the U.S. Some carriers, I heard Sprint might be one of the first ones. We'll get it in the first week of February, and then so on and so forth. So I told you guys this a couple weeks back, but depending on the carrier you had, that it would be as late as at the end of February for when people are getting 7.0. It has been released internationally on my S7. I now have it. That is my international phone. I already have Android 7.0. So carriers will be getting it, just not right away. So yeah, that's what we're waiting for. But that's all. That's why you're waiting. It's because of that. It will be coming, but just not right away. It takes time for carriers to check everything, and AT&T is a liar. It would be held up at them. So Google pushes out an update. Samsung gets that update, fixes it up, pushes it out to AT&T. AT&T gets the update, fixes it up, and then pushes it out. That's how it works. So yeah, it would be AT&T or any carrier that's holding it up, rather. All right, now let's get to your questions that you guys asked in the comment section down below. Again, any question you want to ask, just ask in the comment section down below, and I will answer it before the end of the show. All right, let's see what you guys have been asking today. I see, sit back. Good luck with being a potato. How are you doing, Android guy? I am doing good. Overall, I have a lot of new partnerships that we're slowly building up here, and we're getting the YouTube channel really kind of working in the right direction, I would say. And hopefully we can have some announcements by next month, but we'll see. I'm really looking forward to doing a couple of things. And yeah, guys, it'll be 5 years next month since we started the YouTube channel, dating all the way back to February 16th. So we are coming up on 5 years since we started this channel. Since Xiaomi reportedly isn't attending MWC, do you think there will be a second version of the Mi Mix or the Mi Mix Evo? I don't think right away. Hugo, for those of you who don't know, their VP just left, and now he's joining Facebook's VR division, and he was a big driving force in that company. I mean, a big driving force in that company. So losing him is not anything small. I think Xiaomi, we're going to see them again, of course, but I just think that's why they're not attending MWC. They need to get some things in order and make sure they're heading in the right direction, the same direction, when they have a new VP in terms of making sure everything is going according to plan. When will the next Google Pixel come out? Do you think it will have expandable storage? Never a chance in hell that Google will allow expandable storage. They'll just never do it. They have made that very clear time and time again. They tried to remove expandable storage on Android as a whole. Didn't work out the way they wanted to, but that was a try on Android 4.0. It wasn't supposed to support SD cards. They kind of went around it, and yeah, that was a whole thing, though. It was a big thing. When will the Google Pixel come out? October. The next Google Pixel will come out in October. Greetings, RSCKY. Greetings, Quiet Storm. I have the Samsung beta program on my phone to get Nougat early. Will I know when it's finalized and available, and will I need to uninstall the beta program? Good question, you Pink. I still have the beta on mine as well. Now, here's the funny thing. If I try to connect it to my computer says, hey, there's a new update. And then what Smart Switch does is it tries to basically like, hey, we're going to take it back, and we're going to take away Nougat and put back the regular Android on the latest official build until the latest one comes out. I'm like, yeah, I don't want to do that right now. I kind of do because I have my issues in Nougat, as most people know. But I said, no, I'm not going to do that right now. I will wait until to see how they will update it. So I believe we'll just get the update same time pushed out as everyone else. And yes, it will be an update because the build number will be newer than what we currently have with the beta. So yes, we will get the update, I believe. But that's, again, I've never been a part of the beta program till this year, so I'm in the same boat. What do you think the screen aspect ratio will be on the S8? I think above 90. I have the S7 Edge, by the way. Yeah, same here. How many megapixels do you think the camera on the S8 will be? I still think it'll be a dual pixel, but whether it be 12 or 16, I'm not sure. So will AI be monitoring my porn watching? It just might. It just might. I mean, if you give it permission to look at your web browsing, then yeah. It's like, Bigsby, go back to my last web page. What is the best launcher in your opinion? The best launcher is Nova. It's just the best. And there's two different philosophies in launchers, I would say. One philosophy in launchers is to show you an exact way on how your phone should be operated. And there are a lot of launchers like that that are very popular. They're basically like, oh, if you swipe left, all your apps will be there. If your home screen is minimal, your searching is more of a thing. They design a specific layout how they believe your smartphone should be. I like the other kind of launcher. That is great for some people, and I know a lot of YouTubers that use that kind of launcher. I, however, do not like that kind of launcher. I want something that looks like Android in terms of stock Android, but I can change it and manipulate it exactly how I want it to be, while still looking like a mixture of Samsung or LG and stock Android rolled up into one, and again, personalized to the way I want it. And that's what Nova is. Nova, in my opinion, is the best launcher on the market. And as I said earlier, I will be doing a new video on Nova and also on what's on my phone. I have the T-Mobile S7 Edge, still haven't got Nougat. Again, you won't get it till next month. Budget Pixel sounds cool, I agree. Just stopping by to say hi. Hey, Joshua. I see a Galaxy 2. Okay, so it wasn't only me with the LG one. I do like the rounded corners. I do think that's a nice touch. LG shooting themselves in the leg again. Yeah, we talked about that last year with the mistakes that LG made with the launch date. So hopefully they can bounce back from this. Those watches look terrible. Please, Samsung, something put on the fingerprint scanner on the back. Please don't put the fingerprint scanner on the back, is maybe what you meant. I don't want it on the back. I just want an iris scanner back, damn it. I did miss the iris scanner. I did enjoy it, actually. What happens when Android reaches Z? When Android reaches Z, God, that'll be a long time from now. I mean, you're talking about, what, 10 more years or so? I mean, whoa. So yeah, it's 26 letters. What is that? Regardless, or 28 letters. When it reaches Z, who knows? Maybe they will start back from A. Maybe they'll go by numbers. The whole thing is that the letters were to replace the numbers. And it's smart if you think about it, because like right now everyone's wondering if iPhone will, keep continuing on the numbers, because like how many numbers once you get to 10, will you keep going? But yeah, right now it really is a thing of letters. So I don't know. We'll see. Does using fast charge all the time bad for the battery on the S7 versus a normal charger long term? No, it shouldn't be. The fast charge shouldn't damage the phone any worse than a normal charger, except if you're charging overnight. Once it's charged to 100%, you're supposed to stop charging. If you're charging overnight, the only thing that's going to help your battery is wireless charging. Over 9,000, over 9,000, that will happen. We will find out. Maybe loop the alphabet again. Yeah, right. The fingerprint scanner on the back is a big mistake. When the phone is on the table, so annoying to pick up the phone all the time. Colors for the S8. So people have thought about the colors, and Sam Mobile actually put in their 2 cents this past week. Um, we're getting at the coral blue again because that was a very popular color. The question is, will there be a different color besides coral blue? Could we see a red? Could we see a green? Could we see something new? I think Samsung should keep going on this track to keep making new colors. I think that's a great practice and something that I like that they do rather than copy Apple's colors. Make new colors of your own because that blue stood out so much. Fingerprint scanner confirmed to be on the back. It is not confirmed yet, but those pictures did show it there. However, the validity of the pictures is what we're calling into question. Um, if the S8 fingerprint scanner is on the back, another reason to keep my Note 7. You still have your Note 7? That's hilarious. I hope HTC builds the next Pixel. I think they will. Google Pixel 2 versus S8. The Google Pixel 2 should beat the S8. However, Google Pixel 2 versus Note 8. Oh, that's a whole nother story. Nice. I regret turning the best damn phone of 2016 in. So do you think if I were to buy Mi Mix, should I wait for the version or just get it now? Where are you gonna use the Mi Mix? I wouldn't recommend the Mi Mix for the US. The bands aren't all the same. The reception has been labeled as bad by most YouTubers that have reviewed it for the US market. In terms of phone calls, it's just not as clear. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend it, but it's up to you. Rick, have you ever used liquid armor to protect your phones that have glass screens? No, I haven't. Not that I would oppose to it, but I just never have used that. But I'm not big on screen protectors. I actually have started talking to bodyguards about starting to get some in for a channel just because a lot of you guys often ask me what screen protectors should you use, and I don't know enough about them because I don't usually use them. So I'm gonna start reviewing some more on it for you guys so that I can give more feedback on that. Will the S5 get nougat? I would say no. The S5 would be too slow with nougat. I would say if you would get it, you wouldn't want it, to be honest. To me, I feel that the Pixel is BS and the Nexus 6P is better. With speakers, design was better. Pixel reminds me of HTC Evo. 4G LTE from Sprint. Not too far off from there. Have you seen that TechRex video destroying the Note 7 spoilers? It blew up and he destroyed it twice. Why is Nova Launcher the best? Nova Launcher, I feel, just takes the best of everything of Android. Like, you can make it look like stock Android. You can make it look like Galaxy Android. You can make it look like LG Android. You can make it look like whatever kind of Android you want, but the features are so cutting edge. And you'll get features like, a lot of you guys have been saying like, oh, I can't wait to have Nougat so that I can have the long press, right? I've had the long press for a long time before having Nougat. With Nova Launcher, you can just hold it down and you get to do those kind of things. Sorry, this is very bright. And you get to do those kind of things already. I've had that for since before, I feel like this was either when Android N was out and before Nougat was out. So I had this before the Pixel did, just to give you an idea. So features like that people are still waiting for now, that's huge to get that far ahead in advance. I see that I might have to get the S9. It takes Samsung 2 or more years to work out all the bullshit. I'm happy to go from the S4 to the S7. Hey, I mean, the S7 was a great phone. I don't foresee any issues with the S8, but let's wait and find out, right? I have an S7 Edge, and the battery seems to not charging well when I use the rapid charging cord. It says weak charge. Is that an issue? Yeah, I would maybe go into, if you live in the US, you can go into a Best Buy, try their charger because they have fast chargers there at Best Buy. Try to plug it in, see if it says the same thing because it's either your charger or your phone that's getting a weak charge because the fast charge shouldn't have that issue. You got it from, it's the one that should have came out of the box, right? What, you didn't get a third party, hopefully? Um, Note 7 is a true badass of all time. S8 seems like a disappointment already. Fingerprint scanner on the back, no home button, iris scanner, boo. I'm still getting S8, yeah, because I'm a Samsung sucker. Iris scanner is there. On every picture that we've seen, the iris scanner has been there. No home button. I don't really care if it honestly doesn't have a home button so much as long as I still get that feedback. If it's like an Apple kind of thing where you have that tactile feedback, I don't care for it as much. I prefer a button, but if they have a fingerprint scanner on the screen, that is what will make me change my mind. But yeah, there was never an Android A or B. You are correct and not correct. Because A was alpha and B was beta. And then the public got cupcake. So that's how Android worked out. That was A and B. It was alpha and beta. So yes, there was and there wasn't. Just wasn't public. So yes. The S8 needs to start at 64. I maybe say the S8 Edge will, but I don't think the regular S8 will start at 64. I think it's going to still start at 32. Hi. In iPhone 7 Plus, it has... iPhone 7 Plus does not have Nova Launcher. No. I like the Jade Green Samsung did with the S6 Edge. I think it will be a limited market release. Yes, it was a limited market release. It was mainly in the UK that got it. Bastards. And yeah, no, that was my favorite color. I love green. Green is my favorite color. So yes, I would love to see something like that. Who is your wireless carrier? My wireless carrier is Sprint. Or Sprint? No, it would never be Sprint. It would be T-Mobile. My wireless carrier is T-Mobile. My work one is AT&T, so I have both. Maybe they will start over the alphabet, but have it salt snacks instead. Yeah, that would be a new interesting thing to have it different kind of snacks and sweets. I have Samsung Note 4. It will be getting updated to Android 7.1.1. Yes, the Note 4 probably will, yes. Why are there so many issues with Note 4 Marshmallow 6.0? Probably because the Note 4 is a bit of an older phone now. I mean, you're talking about a 3-year-old plus phone. Having a latest update of OS. I've told you guys many times before, you don't want the latest OS update on an old phone because it's going to mess up your phone. Your phone wasn't equipped with that OS in mind. It's outdated hardware, and in the tech world, especially mobile, more than any other part of the tech world, it goes like this, and you need the fastest processor and the fastest RAM just to keep up with it. Keep in mind this, RAM, the speed has changed on the RAM chip. Even though you might have 4 gigs of RAM or 3 gigs of RAM, the speed of the RAM is now faster than it was several years ago. So it gives you an idea of that you want the latest and greatest to keep up with the latest and greatest. I understand all of the backdraws of the Mi Mix, but should I wait for the new version or just buy the one right now? I would wait to see if they release anything, but I don't know if they'll release anything as quick as they would have. That's my thoughts on it. Hey, do you know if the S5 will get nougat? Again, I don't believe so. Do you think the S8 or S8 Edge will get a dual camera? I don't know. I really don't. I do not know if it'll get a dual camera. If I had to go with an answer right now, I would say no. I would say I do not think it'll have a dual camera. Am I open to be surprised? Absolutely. I would love to be surprised and them have a dual camera with a 3x zoom instead of a 2x zoom because I don't think 2x is that worth it. But I don't believe it'll happen. All right. Will the S8 have IR? Probably not. John Cena won the belt for the 16th time. He tied Ric Flair's record. Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, I heard who won the Rumble, but I did not hear about that. I have a 6SDD. Not sure what that means. I have a 6S T-Mobile. Will I get nougat, and when will it come out? You will get nougat on the S6 Edge. You're probably not getting it till March or April. I'm being honest with you guys. Should I get the Gear S3 or wait for the Gear S4? I currently have a Gear S2. I would wait personally, but okay. So here's the thing: the Gear S2, right? That's currently out right now, and you have a Gear S3, but the Gear S4 won't be replaced till probably September, October. If I'm not mistaken, the Gear S3 came out at the end of September, beginning of October, if I'm not mistaken. So that's when I would expect the Gear S4 to come out. Is that worth getting right now or waiting for it? That's up to you. A and B. Yeah, Alex. So you knew that, yeah, they weren't dessert names. I think it is a very odd that the S8 has two very large versions of the phones. I think that the largest one, 6.2, will be the Note 8. I think they're going to sync the S and Note series 2017. Not a chance. No chance in hell. The Note 8 is going to come out in August. That's without a doubt. The S8 and S8 Edge will be coming out just like last year with the S7 and S7 Edge. It's happened before, so there has been precedent for it before too. It's not that it's out of the ordinary. So yeah, no, they will have them both. They are only that big of a screen size because they're minimizing the bezel. So you have to keep in mind the phone sizes will be about this size. And we went over the dimensions last week, I believe, or 2 weeks ago. We went over the dimensions on these two. So this will be almost the same size of the S8, and this will almost be the same size of the S8 Edge. The Edge is going to be bigger, yeah, but both the phone sizes will be about the same. When is Nougat coming to the S7 on the US? In February. Do you think the LG G6 will be good mobile versus S8? What do you think about the two match buttons on the S8? Do you think the picture of the S8 has a micro USB? So there's a couple questions there. It will not have a micro USB. It will have a Type C USB. So that is definitely going to happen. So that's the interesting thing on that, right? And that's again why the pictures bring up questioning. However, those were dummies, so they could have not been accurate on that part. Could be, but we'll see. So yeah. How do I think the LG G6 will compare to the S8? That's kind of hard to say since neither one has been announced yet. We're only going on rumors basically for it. But LG has to have something different. They can't just catch up to iPhone and Samsung and their designs from last year. That can't be it. They need something extra, and I believe LG can do it. The question is, will they? We wake look on the iPhone 7 Plus Android Nova launcher. I'm not sure what you're trying to say, Mohammed. We look on the iPhone 7 Plus Android Nova launcher stock stork look. I'm not sure what you mean on that. Is there an Android phone out or coming out you think is or will be as fast as the iPhone? I think plenty of Android phones are currently faster than the iPhone on a lot of operations. But again, the thing that most people equivalent to fast is like I talked about this last week on like phone buff speed test, right? Like, oh, if you open 8 apps, first of all, not everyone has 8 apps open at the same time. Second of all, if you optimize the Android phone, it will go faster and it can maintain having that many apps in the background, the important ones, the ones you actually want in the background. So there is ways around all of that stuff. So it's a lot. It's a lot to go on. In terms of speed, I have an iPhone. I have a Samsung. I don't always think the iPhone is faster by any means. It lags on me a bunch of times. And that's because I'm a power user. I would say that most iPhone users don't have a laggy iPhone, but most aren't power users. I would say most iPhone users aren't power users, and that's why they never have a lag on their iPhone. I am a power user, so I'm stressing it. I'm making sure that it can work as fast as I move because I need it to move fast, and it doesn't. So, yeah. Any phones that are worth buying with a removable battery? No current phones with a removable battery are really worth buying. The V20 is the last good one, but that will be the last of the Mohicans. They're not making any more. Have you seen Battle of the Gods and Return of F movies? If so, don't you need to see the first part of Dragon Ball Z Super? No spoilers, chat. I've not seen Dragon Ball Z Super yet. I know you guys told me that the first few episodes are available. The thing is this weekend was Kingdom Hearts weekend. So I just finished Kingdom Hearts 2.8 all throughout the weekend. Finished it, got all the hidden endings, and I can't wait for Kingdom Hearts 3. Got the secret ending, even Kingdom Hearts 2.9. So very happy with that. That was this weekend. Next weekend, I will catch up on Dragon Ball Z Super, the English dub that's currently out. So I think that's only going to be about 4 episodes, but I will watch all of them next week. No spoilers. Good you. Do you think the S8 recent leak is fake? I think it might be. We'll see. They say that no Samsung S8 Edge, just S8 with 2 curved edges and the front and the back. There will be 2 S8s, 1 edge, 1 not. You and Griggles TV should do Wrestling Mobile Tech Live. I don't know who that is. I will search them after, but he seems like a cool guy. Yeah, I've never talked to him. If you think we should, go on Twitter. Tell him, hey, I think you guys should do Wrestling Mobile Tech Livecast. I'd be open to it. Do you think the S8 will have a better, longer, and more efficient battery? Yes. Do you think Android O will be called Oreo? I hope so. Any news on the camera quality in the S8? No, that is one thing that is not leaked. The only thing we know about the camera in the S8 is it will not stick out at all. They have completely, apparently, removed the bump. So, it's gotten smaller on the on the S8. It got smaller, but it still sticks out a little bit. It will be gone, apparently, on the S8. What movie are you excited about seeing? The next movie I'm excited about seeing, I believe, is John Wick 2. Gonna see that opening weekend. Yeah. So I'll talk about that. I have to do a review on Split. I quite frankly did not like it, but it's because I did not see what you needed to see to make the twist interesting. So yeah, that's without spoilers. So no Note 8 until September. No Note 8 until August. I thought I read around April. No Note 8 until August. Are you hyped for Bixby? I am a little bit. I mean, I have to see it in person, right? I have to see, like, show me what it can do, because Google's AI is already amazing, you know? Samsung's S Voice was nowhere near that. So it has to really show me what it can do. Do you think Samsung will make new earbuds for the S8? Yes, I do believe we'll see, Icon X 2.0 if it were. I'll be disappointed if the fingerprint scanner isn't on the display on the S8. So will I. I have a Chinese phone named Infix0X506 installed with Remix ROM. Oh, the Remix ROM is pretty cool. It works fine, but SIM cards are not. I don't know. If it's a Chinese phone, you cannot make it work with most countries because the Chinese phone, although you have a Remix ROM on there, doesn't allow Google apps. So your ROM has to allow you to do that, or else it won't work properly. Uh, how do you activate dual window mode in Nougat? You just simply hold the recent apps button. You hold it down. That will have one at the top, and then you just tap what the other one is, and that's it. Iris scanner confirmed for the S8? Yes. Funny, they are calling the S8 one Edge, and both have curves. Yeah. Yeah. Will you make a live video in MWC and Samsung event? It's hard to do live videos, to be honest, for those days, because if I have a meeting or something else along those lines, then I can't do a video for those things. For the MWC, I mean, we're expecting a tablet from Samsung, so I don't think it'll be as big. Unfortunately, we talked about this last week and the week before. I will not be attending MWC just because the channel is not yet big enough. So we would need to make when we make 2 million more views a month, then we can be to the point where yes, I can do MWC. Until then, though, I can't. So unfortunately, it's just not big enough yet. What is Android? I think it's O you wrote, but you put 0 if I'm not mistaken. But Android O is what Google will announce in May, and that'll be just called Android O while it's in beta, and then the full release will come out in October with the new Pixel phone. RCKY the badass, thank you. We want to make on iPhone 7 Plus like Android stock. We want to make a look on iPhone 7 Plus look like Android stock Google Nova Launcher. I don't know of any way to make an iPhone look like Android without jailbreaking it. So yeah, hopefully that helps. And do you think the battery on the S8 will stay at 3000? No, I believe it will get bigger. Are you going to do a spoilers review on Split? I will do a... This is the title for the video I'm going to do on Split. I believe it's a bad movie, but a good ... But yeah. John Wick was the best movie ever. When does the new one come out? The new one comes out the weekend before Valentine's Day, so it comes out on February 9th, if I'm not mistaken, or February 10th, depending on where you live, because, you know, the 9th is Thursday, so Thursday night showing will happen, and that's when I'll be at. I hope they do 2 types of Note 8s, one with without an edge and one with an edge. I would love a Note 8 without an edge. Nope, they're going to do a Note 8 with an edge. That'll be the only Note 8, and then maybe, just maybe, we'll get the Galaxy X bendable display phone. Finally. I'm waiting on the Note 8. Hi, Ricky. Do you think the S8 will be an RGB instead of a Pentel display technology? Pentel display has gotten past the point where it was an issue, so I don't see why you would need to make it one. I mean, the Note 8 was the brightest display ever on a smartphone, getting over 800 nits compared to most smartphones being at 200 to 400 nits. So yeah, I don't see it really necessary for it. I mean, it's still better. Like, you can't tell anyone that the AMOLED displays on the S7 or Note 8 aren't the best by far. If you want to take a look at the difference between the Note 8 and the S7, we actually did a display comparison between them, and the Note 7 destroyed the S7 in terms of display. I realized I might have been saying Note 8, but I meant Note 7. How much RAM will the S8 and S8 Plus have? We do not have that confirmed yet, but it's looking like 6. Can I pre-order now, please? No, you can't pre-order yet. I just bought the Amazon Echo. How do I get it to control my TV? And did you receive the beta for Injustice? I have not received the beta for Injustice, unfortunately. How do you control it with your TV? Take a look at my video on how to control your living room with Google Home. It's the same concept. It's just basically everything that I'm doing with Google, do with Alexa instead. I will do that video though. I'll help you get 2 million views, my friend. I appreciate that. Anything you guys can do to help me grow the channel, I would appreciate it forever. And yeah. What is a good non-popular Android phone? A good not as popular Android phone. Yeah, here it is. The Honor 6X. We're currently reviewing this one right now, and it's really good, especially for the price. I'm actually in the finishing part of the review. You can see we did the camera comparison between this and the J7 from T-Mobile, and the Galaxy J7. So it's really interesting to see, how if you pay outright for a phone instead of doing the monthly installments from a carrier, you're going to get a lot more for it. When is Android 7.0 coming to the S7 Verizon? February. Did you see the spoilers for the new Avengers game? I did not see the spoilers for the new Avengers game. I did see the trailer for it. I haven't heard any spoilers about what it's about yet, though. Do you think the Note 8 will have 6 or 8 gigs of RAM, and which processor do you think it will have? I think it will have a processor that we don't know of yet, because I think it will have the second generation. So last year, early this year, it's the 835. I think it'll have whatever the predecessor to that is. So 836 or 840, whatever they're going to call it, that's what the one's going to have. Will there be a Note Edge 2? No, there will never be another Note Edge. Ricky, do you secretly have a Note 8? No. They're on to me. Are you going to watch The Ring? No. I've never been a big fan of The Ring. I mean, I've seen them all, but no, I kind of, it takes a lot for me to get involved in a horror movie now. I just don't like them as much. It's just not my thing anymore. I don't know. Like, I used to always see horror movies when I used to date, because that's the movie you want to take a girl to see, and, them jump on you and all that kind of stuff. I have a wife now, I don't need to take, so it's just like, yeah, and, you don't need the excuse of a scary movie for that anymore. So yeah, that's just me. I subscribed to your channel and my husband told me to check you out. Well, thank you and your husband, Crystal. I appreciate it very much. Is there a way to get S 7.0 on an Android phone, like force install? Yes and no, and I wouldn't recommend it. You can get 7.0 right if someone creates a ROM. You would go to XDA developers, search your phone, and see if someone has created a 7.0 version for it. However, if you do that, you're going to get screwed because, they didn't think of everything. And if your phone starts malfunctioning, guess what? There's no fix for it because you have to wait for that person to realize it. and for him to take the time out of his busy schedule or her busy schedule to fix it. So yeah. How do I go back to old stock recovery on MediaTek Chinese phone? I have old stock ROM. You would have to use something to make it, something like Odin, to put it back on there. Check again, like I just said a second ago. Check out XDA developers, search your phone, and see if it's there. Do you think the Note 8 would have a better camera pixels than the Note 7? Probably. What do you think about self-driving cars? I think self-driving cars are amazing, and I really can't wait to see the future in that. I talked to NVIDIA at CES, and they are doing some amazing stuff. They're actually the company behind Tesla's smart driving car technology. They programmed a lot of it, and the boards are used by NVIDIA. So, really amazing to what things are coming out through that. But I think it's really going to be, vehicle to V to P. So vehicle to person is going to be one thing, right? Like how a vehicle can detect a person. But when we get to the point of V to V, vehicle to vehicle, the more smart homes are there and more smart homes are talking to each other, more smart vehicles are talking to each other, then this person can say, hey, you're going too fast. I should, wait, or like this person's going too fast. When every car has vehicle to vehicle, that's going to be awesome because that will prevent accidents. And that's the whole idea. If we can get to the point where we can drive fast and efficient without accidents, that's the dream. I mean, to never have accidents again, that's awesome. I just got an update on my Amazon Echo. It does follow-up questions now. Yeah, that was a really good update to the Echo, Crystal. I got it too. What's your favorite S phone? Or do you just mean phone in general? My favorite phone, the Note 7. What's my favorite current phone right now? The one I'm currently using is the S7 Edge. However, I'm about to test out the Huawei Mate 9 that we just did an unboxing for the other day. What is the next giveaway? The giveaway for this month is going to be the Gear S2. We don't have a giveaway yet for next month. I'll try to figure that out. I tried to install the old stock recovery, but it didn't work. I'm not sure. I'm not familiar with that phone, so I honestly can't help you anymore with that. What was your first Android phone? My first Android phone was the very first Droid from Verizon. I had no interest in getting a smartphone. I thought they were a waste of money for $30 a month compared to $5 a month I think it was for like a regular phone, And I was like, I had no interest in getting a smartphone actually. And my friend David showed me all the cool things he could do, and I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. But the one thing that got me was turn-by-turn navigation. A navigation was one piece of tech that I never bought for my car, but I'd always wanted. And I really started to think, I'm like, but the problem with navigation systems at the time was that you would have to buy new software every year to update the navigation system because roads change and streets change, and of course. And the promise of Google's turn-by-turn navigation with their maps was the idea behind it was the fact that you could, at the time it was unthinkable, but it would update on its own. And that was awesome. And that's when I was like, I might have to get this. And that's what made me get my first smartphone. Navigation is still, to this day, something that I use every single day. And it's what made me get it. I think it's so funny that a lot of people keep misspelling stock with stork. Yes. What is your worst fear? My worst fear. This presidency? I don't know. No, no, I'm not talking about politics here. But no, I don't know. My worst fear would probably be being a bad father. I had issues with my dad, so yeah, I would not being a great father would probably be one of my worst fears. Don't have kids yet, but when I get there in 2 years is the game plan. We'll see. Um, do you think the S8 will have a bigger? And by the way, the funny biggest fear would be an all Apple world. That would be my biggest fear as a comical. Do you think the S8 will have a bigger battery? Yes. How many people in this chat have an Android phone? What did LG do wrong with the G5? The main thing LG did wrong with the G5, to be honest, was launch. The announcement was the same day as the S7. So all over the web and all over all advertising, no one was talking about the G5. Then they didn't launch at the same time as the S7. They did launch about 3 weeks later on the same day as the iPhone SE. It was the worst thing they could have done. It was the worst. No one knew about the G5 and no one cared, simply because of the fact that you had the two biggest cell phone manufacturers going against it on the same days. And then with the V20 again announced the day before iPhone 7, and then originally it was scheduled to launch the weekend after, and they did push it back 2 more weeks, but then I think it was actually like 3 more weeks, and then the Pixel got in there, and so again it was just poor launch timing. You need to be able to adapt, and they didn't last year, and that costs them. Okay, so when do you think our phones will replace car keys, Bluetooth or NFC? I think through Bluetooth. I think the whole smart thing. I think we'll always have a physical key as a backup, but I do think. If you look at things like we're gonna get in contact with Kiwik set, which is like a smart lock, and so as soon as my phone is in range, I tap the lock and it unlocks it. And I think that's really cool. So we'll be testing that out soon to kind of give you guys feedback on that. What's your favorite, Taco Bell or KFC? Love the double-decker tacos from Taco Bell, but I will say Taco Bell because my alternatives are Del Taco and Popeyes, and I like Popeyes more than KFC. Bro, you deserve more subs. Any way to donate to you? Well, thank you, scripting. For us, we don't do direct donations, but we do have a Patreon page, so you can donate monthly through there. $1 at minimum, we don't ask for a lot. But what we do with that money is actually we buy products to then give them away to you guys. I literally make no money from the donations. I buy them to have more products to review, and then we give them to you guys as a thank you. So yeah, that we do every month. Google really pulled Garmin hand to lifetime maps on their models. Yeah, they did. LG V10 or iPhone 7 Plus. Oof, that's a hard one, Mario. That really is. Or no, wait, V10? Not V20? I'm thinking you meant V20. We never reviewed the V20, so it's hard. I might lean towards the iPhone 7 Plus. If it was the Pixel, I would say the Pixel. But for those two, maybe the iPhone 7 Plus over the V20. I'm not sure on that one. I'm going into year 7 next year, and I'm allowed to get a phone. What Android phone is the best first phone? It really depends. It depends what price range you're going to, right? So like the $250 price range, this Honor is amazing. For $250, you get a lot for it. So, and we'll have the review later this week to check it out. The Mate 9 we're going to review from Huawei. That one, I believe, is $399 or around there. So that's good for a $400 price range. It depends on the price range that you want to spend on. And, the extras come with the price. I mean, look, the S7 Edge not only has the best camera, but it has the best screen, and you have good battery life. Not the best, but I would say even great. I wouldn't say the best, obviously, still, but great battery life. And you definitely get wireless charging, waterproofing, fast charging. You get a lot of these extras. So that really adds up for the high-end market. I do think that typically phones with that price range are worth it, except, of course, you guys know my feelings on the Pixel. I think for the price range, it's not worth it. Yeah. And the Pixel currently, the reason why I said that the Pixel isn't worth it, I think the Pixel is an amazing phone. I think it should just be $100 to $200 cheaper for not having things like wireless charging as well as waterproofing and things like that. And again, I had camera issues since the beginning. If I didn't have these camera issues, I might feel a lot better about the Pixel, but camera's not been good on this phone when other people have amazing photos on their phone. I'm a little bit bitter for the Pixel on that reason. I have a pen, an Apple pen. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I almost said the whole thing. I have Samsung S7 is the best. We should have a blue color for the Pixel XL. Yeah, they do have a blue color, very blue. But yeah, it wasn't available that much. What's your best recommendation for Bluetooth wireless earbuds? Depends on what you mean. True wireless, it just depends on the price range right now. Like, I have these ones over here, and they're great. They're only $50, very inexpensive, but, they don't look great, but they're good. We did a review on them. You can check them out. But these are truly wireless ones. Really, I mean, for $50, you can't beat them, really. But if you're talking about, like, high-end, obviously there's going to be better out there. I really love the ones we saw at CES. Check out our videos on those. And those are ones I'm really looking forward to seeing. OnStar is kind of a smart car technology, limited kind of. Yeah, it's pretty limited. Do you think a skin for the Amazon Echo Dot and second generation is better than the first one? Do you have a skin? I do not have a skin for my Echo Dot. I do, however, it's over on that side. I do have the adapter that we just did an unboxing for, the Freemo. That's really awesome. The Echo Dot second generation is faster, if I'm not mistaken. Like, they did tests comparing the two, and it's faster at the response time. It's also obviously a lot cheaper. That's one of the reasons why a lot of people got it. And the speaker sounded a bit better, if I'm not mistaken, too. But yeah, those are the things at the top of my head. I can't think of all of them, to be honest. But no, I do not have a skin on mine yet. Who is your favorite DBZ character besides the green characters? It is not Piccolo, actually. My favorite character is the one over there at the top, Gohan. I will challenge anyone on that because, look, despite what you can say, Gohan was the strongest single character at the end of Dragon Ball Z. He was the strongest one in every saga, pretty much, almost every saga, not the Saiyan saga, but he was the strongest one heading towards the Frieza saga. He had already surpassed Vegeta in there. He was the strongest one at the end of the Cell saga, obviously, Super Saiyan 2. And at the end of them, Mystic Gohan was stronger than a Super Saiyan 3. I've heard Dragon Ball Z Super, and of course, oh my god, that's why I hated GT. I hated GT because they made him such a wuss. Unfortunately, I've heard that path is still kind of followed on Dragon Ball Z Super. I hope they improve Gohan, but Gohan is my favorite. Always has been, always will be. Despite what they do to him. What can Google Home do to be better than Echo? Google Home, I feel, is better than Echo at answering questions more naturally. All that it needs is the compatibility. Once Google Home has the compatibility, I believe it will be better than Echo Dot. But Echo Dot has a few years on Google Home. So, yeah, it's going to take a lot for Google Home to catch up, to be honest. it needs to be compatible with a lot more things and no time flat, and it needs to do that quickly. Thank you, Ricky. Ever since I came across your channel, my fascinations with Android phones have increased. You are so informative, spot on with your predictions. Thank you. I appreciate that, Catwoman. S7 Edge or Pixel XL, you're the best, man. I would get neither right now, to be honest. If you're buying a phone right now, I would not buy a phone. I would not buy a phone right now unless you have to. Simply because new phones are coming out. Why buy one right now? These phones will go down in price. The current models will go down in price, and you're gonna have better ones out there. So I would not buy an S7 Edge or a Pixel XL right now. If I had to choose between the two, yeah, I would get S7 Edge overall, but I would not get either one right now. Best fast charge, quick charge, and power bank for the S7 Edge. The best one for the S7 Edge is the one that Samsung makes. Their quick charge battery pack is really quick, and it charges in no time flat, and it's official, so you're going to get the fastest charge. Hello, Ricky. Some reviewers have said the LG V20 is the best phone of 2016. What are your thoughts on this? I don't agree with them. Again, I never had the LG V20. I said this to LG. I've said this to their representatives. That we used to get their phones and we didn't get their phone last year, and unfortunately didn't really get any kind of feedback from I forgot the guy's name, Clark or Craig. I'm gonna reach out to him again when before the G6, but I don't know. It really I don't think the V20 was the best, just because the camera was no better than the G5. There was no improvement on the camera. So I don't think it was better, to be honest, than most of the other smartphones out there. We did rank it in the top 10. It's top 5. But yeah, no, not the top 1. There's not a chance. Is the next Pixel phone going to have waterproof and wireless charging? I think it'll have one. I don't think it'll have the other. I don't think it'll have wireless charging, unfortunately, which would be a shame, but I think it will have waterproofing. Pledge, bro. Good night. See you in the future videos. Thank you for watching us, Revolution. No doubt Gohan is the best. At least he's a great father and family man, so I'll forgive him. Can Google Home Bluetooth to my speakers, or do you need an auxiliary cord? I believe you need an auxiliary cord. Yes, I believe you need an auxiliary cord. Did you like the modular idea for the G4? You mean the LG G5? The G5 had the modular design, not the G4. The modular design for the G5 was poorly executed. The Moto mods were the best modular design we've seen yet. Project Aria is dead, as we know, but the best modular design was Moto. Moto has done the best job of modular design, definitely. Have a great day, Ricky. Have a great day, Storm. All right, guys. I think we're going to wrap that up. We have had a great show. Lots of questions. Always, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, I do ask you guys, please give a like, thumbs up down below. Again, I tell you guys every week, YouTube has changed a lot of things on their channel, so like, thumbs up gives a lot more to your YouTubers now than it ever did before. So yeah, please give a like, thumbs up down below. Thank you guys always for watching. And yeah, we will be back next week, and I will have some more videos for you during the week. Thank you again. This has been RICKY, the Android Guy.